Welcome to Mama Tusa, Conversations with a Midwife. I'm your host, Atusa Benji. A quick note before today's episode. This show talks about birth, life, death, and all the complexities in between. My goal is always to share stories that leave you feeling empowered, but please know that some topics may be challenging or deeply moving. Also, while I'm an experienced midwife, I'm not your midwife, and the information on this podcast is not intended to be medical advice. Please consult your healthcare provider when considering what is best for you as an individual. Now, without further ado, I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to the Mama Tusa podcast. My guest today is Michelle Nouraei. Michelle is the owner of Fit for Mom, Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley, and Northeast LA. And I can't wait for you to hear all about Fit for Mom and Michelle's personal story and Birth Center Birth, which is actually where we met each other. Welcome to the Mama Tusa podcast.
Hi, Atusa. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. And I think the last time we saw each other, we were both double masked and knee deep in COVID. I met you in 2021,
yes,
where I was a crazy time. And I remember I was working at the birth center. And I came across your name and I obviously went through your medical record and I looked everything up and I was like, oh, she's Iranian. This is cool. But her last name's not Iranian. Okay, this is cool. Oh, she's had another baby before. This is cool. And I started putting, and she's a nurse. This is cool. So I started putting the whole picture together and I met you. I was like, this woman's really, really awesome. And it was so lovely to take care of you because every single visit was just pleasant and easy, and you knew what questions to ask and you trust the process.
Thank you. That was like the best experience. Also, like when I met you, I was like, please, I hope she's the one who's gonna deliver the baby because you don't know who's gonna.
We don't know. Yeah, it's there were 3 or 4 of us at the time when we were rotating, and we were busy. We were busy because another birth center had just closed, so all of those people came to us at Graceful. And then we had the pandemic and we had all sorts of people wanting to have home births because they didn't want to go to the hospital, but they weren't a candidate for a home birth. Like it was just not, there was hypertension or something. I'm like, I'm so sorry, you don't qualify for this. So it was a wild, wild time, but you were just a breath of fresh air. And I actually remember when you called me. It was at night. It was really late at night. And you paged through the midwife line or you called on the midwife line and I picked up and you're like, I don't know. I think something's happening. I'm not sure. And I'm going to go back to bed, but I'll keep you posted. And then I spoke to you again early in the morning. Yes. And I was like, why don't you just come in? Like it's time to come in. So why did you choose an out of hospital birth?
Well, I had my son. It was 14 years earlier, if I'm not mistaken. And I was so young. I was like in my 20s. Had no idea what I was doing. So the experience at UCLA, it was okay. But I took epidural, the same story as everybody else. I remember asking my doctor, actually, should I take epidural? And then she was like, oh, I would take it. If I was you, I would take it when I just got pregnant. That was the answer. So I didn't have that much knowledge. Just thinking back, I don't remember anything about the delivery. You get on medication and then everything is just a blur. I didn't feel anything. So this time around, I really wanted to experience something different. Obviously, I was a little bit older, a little bit more knowledgeable.
And a nurse. So had you worked in the medical field as a nurse? What were you doing? I did it
in my internship.
Okay.
Yes. But so the things I've seen, especially it just depends on your insurance, I guess. Just a doctor going from one to another and just
conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Conveyor belt. And that's not anything you were interested in the second time?
No. I really wanted to just do it with no medication, just experience that. Yeah. And there's no judgment for anybody who doesn't want to do this.
There's no wrong way to do it. Absolutely.
But I really want, and I'm glad because like right now I can close my eyes and just experience that again because the pain or like the experience is nothing. I can't even put words on it. So it's really magical.
It's very different. What made you choose a birth center birth versus a home birth?
I wanted the home birth, but we have a dog and a cat, and I think just the whole situation. I talked to my husband, and then we knew someone else who had been at the birth center, one of my old friends. We decided just because we have the animals and just the whole thing is better just to do it at the birth center.
Yeah, which actually a lot of people ask, like, why would someone have a baby at a birth center? Why do people choose birth center over home? And honestly, medically, we have all the same equipment. It's not like the birth center has any sort of like, we do not have an OR in the birth center. We don't have epidurals in the birth center. We can't do surgery in the birth center. But all the same medication we have at the birth center, all the same gear that we have at the birth center, we bring to the birth. Right. So for a lot of people, a home birth is just not practical. Whether they have, I mean, one of my clients was like, we have the most horrible manager. Like if he hears any sort of like birthy sounds, he's going to call like social services. Like it is not going to work. So they just purely because practically having a baby at home was just not practical for them. So I think the birth center is a good option for people who want to not be in the hospital, want to have a midwifery experience, but home is just not. And sometimes home is too far.
But I'm so happy we did it at the birth center because the shower was the most comfortable thing. And I feel like if we did it at my house, it would be, I couldn't just get up and go in the shower. Just everything was in one place, the bed, the bathtub, the shower.
Yes, you had like a triangle of options of places you could go. Your husband took the most beautiful pictures. I know that he does photography by trade, but the pictures of your labor are incredible. And I'm so honored to have them. And thank you for allowing me to share them, which is just such an honor. And I remember when you were laboring, your labor was moving pretty fast. And sometimes people are like, it's my second baby, but it's been many years since I've had another baby. Yeah. Is it going to be as fast? And the answer is typically yes, because your body still remembers. Right. It's still done it. Your first child like laid the arrows on the path for this new baby. So it typically goes faster, and you birthed very efficiently and very beautifully. I know just because it was fast, it wasn't easy.
Oh man, it was the most painful thing I've ever been through.
Tell me more. What was your experience from like beginning to end, from that phone call when you called me?
First, it was like scary seeing because I saw a little bit of blood when I went to a bathroom, and I did a really hard workout earlier that day. So because I was very active throughout this pregnancy.
Your due date was 3 weeks out, so you were still working hard.
Yes. I mean, and I felt great, and I did a crazy workout, and I went to bed, and then I got up to use the bathroom, and there was blood. And that really scared me. And then the contractions started from there.
You had a little bit of bloody show, which can happen. Yeah. And then you were contracting a little bit. And then more, by the time you got to the birth center,
I don't remember, but I was trying to count. And I'm like, is this being so
is this happening?
Nervous. But I had my son 2 weeks early as well. But this was 3 weeks. So that kind of threw me off. But later we found out that they made a mistake at Kaiser.
The date was wrong? Mm-hmm. What it was supposed
1
to be?
1 week. So I was actually 2 weeks.
So you're a 38-week birther.
Yeah.
How interesting. 37 weeks is still term. Because if you have your baby at 36 and 5, we still can't deliver you.
I think for me, I was just not expecting it.
Of course. Of course. Yeah. Emotionally, that's not what you were expecting, for sure. What did your husband feel like when you said you wanted to have an out-of-hospital birth?
No, he's so supportive. He's like, it's your choice.
This is crazy, or don't do this, or all the dangers.
No. He was actually more supportive regarding that, just because the cost was kind of cheaper for us too. It's crazy, but the cost was cheaper to have it at the birth center than at Kaiser.
How interesting! Isn't that bizarre?
It is.
It's so, the whole system is so wild. A doctor I recently talked to stopped taking insurance, and I said, why did you stop? And she said, because insurance companies are organized crime. And I was like, that is such an accurate description. I truly despise them up there with big food and big pharma.
Yeah, one of the reasons I wanted to leave the nursing, because I love being a nurse. That was my... I was a wound care specialist, and I loved it.
I remember.
But it was because, the insurance companies, it just depends if even the patient was, you have to go see the patient, but they will tell you, well, they don't have insurance anymore, so you can't go see them. Yeah. And it was just heartbreaking.
Yeah. No, it's a mess. It's really a mess. So tell me about your experience during the visits at a birth center midwifery setting with a few midwives.
I love everybody was just so nice. I think I connected mostly with you, but everybody was just, I loved the whole experience.
So you were going through all the different midwives, knowing that one midwife would be on call.
Yes. And I was hoping for you.
And I was the only, well, I think there's something to be said for culture and community, right? So it comes to, many people are like, you know what, I'm Middle Eastern, I want a Middle Eastern doula, or I'm Christian and I want a Christian, or I'm Black, I want a Black doula. And when I was younger, I used to think like, why? Like if someone's a great midwife or a great doula, like what difference does it make? But as I got older, I was like, no, there's something about the familiarity.
Okay, maybe that's what it is.
We have to say very little to understand each other, right? Because we have that same sort of lived experience in that area. What did your family think? Because it's been my experience that Iranians are not great with home birth and out of hospital birth. What was your experience?
Luckily, I don't talk to my family about this. Like nobody knew what my plan was.
Nobody knew what you were going to do. But
I mean, my mom was supportive because she even told me, like, she's like, when she had me, she didn't use any medication. So she's like,
in Iran.
Yeah, in Iran.
So she was supportive of that.
She was supportive.
I find that our people are, and I can't generalize all of our people, but our people are a little more on the conservative Western medical side when it comes to birth. Do you find that?
I don't know if I would, maybe if I told my uncle or, you know, I didn't want to tell anybody because everybody has something to say.
Exactly. Yeah. And you were like, we're going to keep this sacred and quiet and private, and then we'll show you a picture of the baby. Exactly. And we don't need to talk about how it happened. I remember you were working out really hard. You were low risk in terms of your health and your blood pressure and your blood sugar. Like everything was just so beautifully aligned.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
I had such a great pregnancy with this one. I mean, I'm sure every pregnancy is different, but for me, I think from the beginning, I mean, I was working out before and I just decided, you know, I'm going to keep eating healthy and working out, and I'm not going to change anything. And it was great.
It worked.
Throughout the whole pregnancy.
It worked. And
it really did.
Are you comfortable talking about how old you were when you had the baby?
So I was 38 when I got pregnant.
38. And did words like advanced maternal age and geriatric pregnancy and all that bogus people throw at you come out?
Yes. I think one of the reasons I decided, now that I think about it, every time I would go to my doctor at Kaiser, they would say, you know, your age, or like, I mean,
there was a fixation.
Right. And it really bothered me.
And was that one of the reasons why you came into midwifery?
Now that I think of like talking about it, I feel like that was one of the reasons.
Yeah. It came back.
That I was thinking about that. I just didn't like the way they, you know, refer to, I mean, I understand. They said it to a point that I decided to get amniocentesis just to make sure. Yeah. There was nothing because it was
over
really
35.
Yeah.
Over 35. It's so sad that we don't look at the whole picture and we only fixate on an age. Right. Because when I was in midwifery school, one of the midwives said something like, heck, I'd rather have a healthy 43-year-old to take care of than a really unhealthy 20-year-old. And I was like, that is so
that
true.
That is true, right?
Like, what does age have to do? Like, necessarily, yes, there are some increased risks, but you have to look at the whole person.
Right.
I also remember showing people your birth pictures, not all of them, but some of them, because they were up on the birth center wall also. And I remember a couple people were like, this woman's in incredible shape. Like, what is she 9 months? Like, what is going on here? And I know that you had done some like athletic modeling earlier, and you were super in shape going into the pregnancy, and you were fit and eating healthy. And I'm wondering if that propelled your Fit for Mom experience. Tell me everything.
Well,
this is all new.
I did like bodybuilding like way before. So like my journey started when I used to be a CrossFitter and bodybuilder, kettlebell sport I was into. But going into the pregnancy, I was working out like 5 days a week. So I was very fit. I'm not as fit as I used to actually because of the baby. There's no time. Yeah. But I remember I had the baby. We went home because at the birth center, you don't
go home after 4 hours.
Right. They send you home. And
knee deep in COVID. Like we are in like that January of 2022 where like everyone was dropping left and right.
And then there's something that you told me that I never forget for the recovery postpartum. You said 4 weeks, 1 week on the bed, the second week close to bed, third week. And that was like the best advice I got from anybody. Because I remember with my son having him, I just wanted to bounce back quickly, like go back to the working out and I was proud of it. I was, oh my God, I'm able to work out 5 weeks or 6 weeks. But letting my body heal, you know, like I don't even know anything about pelvic floor, but just learning about that and letting my body heal and staying with the baby those days, it was amazing.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, that was great.
It's a 6-week postpartum period from when you have your baby to the like official 6-week visit that like wraps everything up. Not that it takes 6 weeks to heal. It takes much longer.
Right, exactly.
But we say 1 week in the bed, 1 week on the bed, 1 week around the bed.
Right.
So for 3 weeks, you have this island of you and baby where you're doing very little. Now, can you step outside and get a fresh air? You go to the bathroom, do some, stretches and things like that. Absolutely. We're not saying like be in bed and don't ever get out.
Right.
But I had one client who called me from Costco on her way home. She was like, "Hi, we're at Costco. I just wanted to know which diapers or something." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Like, you just had a baby. We just discharged you at 4 hours. What are you doing at Costco?
Oh my God.
So I think people are like, I feel pretty good. Let me just do life until you don't. And you have increased bleeding, or you have pelvic floor issues, or you're so fatigued and it affects your breast milk. And it's not the best. So I'm so glad you heeded that. It's hard, especially in my very fit, healthy moms. They're like, I feel great.
It wasn't easy for sure, but I'm glad I listened.
You forced yourself to it. When did you get back to working out?
I don't have any friends who had kids, so it was really hard after I was able to get up, and start walking and going back into
the world.
Right. I just felt so lonely. It was just so lonely being with a baby because my husband was like full-time taking care of my son. He has soccer and school. So somehow I saw this thing on Instagram about Fit for Mom. I was like, I wonder if there's something close to the house. And I found Fit for Mom Los Angeles. And I went to class and I was like, oh my God, where do I sign up? It was just this group of moms who work out, and then everyone's like in the neighborhood. Like I met this lady who was 2 blocks from me and she just had a baby. And this lady who lives like 5 minutes, and just, just this community.
So Fit for Mom what were they advertising on Instagram?
It wasn't Fit for Mom LA, it was somebody else, like, because it's a franchise. So there was like Fit for Mom somewhere else. And I was like, I wonder if there's one around my, and that's how I found it.
And this is moms. What kind of workouts are they doing?
It's a stroller workout. So you come to park.
Stroller workout.
Yeah, so you bring your baby. You don't have to get a babysitter.
Love.
And then you have your band. We give you a band, and then you chat. You hang out after class. There's mom's night out. You do play dates, and the best part is like everybody's in the neighborhood. So if you need something, it's a
built-in community.
Right.
It's a built-in community. So tell me what the model is. So Fit for Mom, is it a studio, or is it a park or a beach?
No, so all the workouts are outside. So you get sunshine, fresh air, you work out, and then you chat with the mom friend. You complain, about not sleeping and everything else. So the previous owner, Abby, I eventually took over from her because she was moving to Torrance.
Oh, wow.
And it was the same day that I told my agency that I'm coming back to nursing.
Oh my
and that
gosh.
I found out she was selling.
And you're like, sorry, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I texted my husband and was like, well, why don't you just take over? And that was it.
Oh my gosh. So tell me how that looks.
We have built this amazing mom community. And the part about it is just the moms are so amazing. Like, there's no judgment. We have moms from all over. They breastfeed.
I'm smiling so big, my mouth is hurting.
There's no judgment if you decide to breastfeed, if you decided to do this. We are just such a supportive community. And I'm just so excited because normally there's like so much drama when it comes to like mom groups.
For sure.
But this community is very
27
unique.
Opinions, right?
Right. But this community is really unique.
I love that it came from your own sort of isolation feeling. Yeah. So you saw this ad and you were like, oh, this sounds cool. I like to work out. Maybe I'll check out one of their sessions.
Classes,
And you paid per session?
No, so it's a monthly membership, or we have like a class pass. So it's like 10 class pass you can buy. So
you showed up with your baby in a stroller.
Yeah.
And y'all went for a walk?
No, it's actually a workout. We do a band workout.
In a park?
In a park. So we have different locations. So like Monday, Tuesday is at La Brea Tar Pits, and Wednesday is at IV Station. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we are at the Grove.
And so it's an hour?
It's an hour.
And you chat as you're working out?
And after workout, we stay for coffee. Sometimes we plan like after class activities for the moms. We do a lot of events. So mom's night out are huge. So we do different things.
What does a mom's night out look like?
We have done burlesque dancing. You know,
Wow.
For the summer, I took the moms to Vegas.
Stop.
Yeah, it was really fun. We did a road trip, and then we saw Magic Mike.
Oh my gosh. Is it based on age of the child?
So all my instructors are prenatal and postnatal certified.
Okay.
So some moms start when they're pregnant, and then obviously they took time off, and then they come back postpartum. But most of the mom, they find us, you know, when the doctor gives them okay to work out, and then we have them during the time that they're off, and then they just stay because we have weekend classes.
So the locations that you told me are the Los Angeles ones. What are your Valley ones?
The Valley one dropped in my lap as well because they were going to close, and I just didn't want it to I love it so. I just believe in it so much because I was so lonely, and you know, postpartum depression is a real thing.
Absolutely.
So this helped me so much, and I just didn't want it to close. So I took over Glendale, Burbank, and Sherman Oaks.
Wow. So talk to me about your depression. When did it come on?
It just not sleeping. I remember going home from the birth center, Jazzy would not sleep. And I think it was something like, remember there was, I didn't know if I was feeding her right. I mean, I was, but I just in my head, I was like, am I fit? I think we had that conversation so many times.
We did.
And lactation consultant was one of the another best thing that, like, I'm so grateful I did that because you feel like, oh, you just know how to breastfeed, but you don't.
Yeah. Well, it's the most natural thing, but it's learned.
Right.
And who do you learn from when you're home alone with a baby? Nobody.
Yeah, because you don't have your mom or grandma or...
Nobody.
I did not sleep for like, I think 3 nights. I think I was hallucinating the final night. And I was like, oh, please, like, you know, like they say, you get to a point where like, I just didn't want to do anything to the baby. Because it was just me and her in the bedroom, and she would just not sleep. She wouldn't sleep.
And it was a hard time in the world.
Yeah.
It was a crazy time in the world. I think 3 of us at the birth center, 3 midwives went down like a couple weeks after your birth. We all just dropped because we were at another building where there was a lot of COVID, and we had a home birth, and it was just everywhere, and we all went down. There was like 1 midwife running everything until we all came back. Yeah. But I remember even doing some postpartum calls with you while I was in bed because I got COVID a few weeks later. That. Yeah, it was intense. It was such a hard
It was
time
crazy time just looking back. Oh my God.
It was awful. Yeah. It was absolutely awful. And I think we had a pediatrician come to your house too. Do you remember?
Yes.
Tell me about that. What was that experience like? What prompted that?
Well, because Kaiser wouldn't accept Jazzy because we didn't have the baby at the hospital. So it took us forever to be able to add her. Right. And I guess the doctor needs to sign, I think it's 48 hours.
Yep.
And we had no choice. And he was great.
I remember we were talking about like, well, we need a pediatrician and what are we going to do? Because we, as midwives, we came back and we weighed the baby. Right. But then it was like the baby needs to be seen by a pediatrician within that 48, 72 hours. And we had resources, right? We actually have doctors and family nurse practitioners who come to the house.
I know, it was so nice. Not going anywhere, just having the doctor come.
Not having to go anywhere and not being able to go to many places. The rates of postpartum anxiety and depression really went up during COVID. And you have this baby who is so vulnerable. The last thing you want is for your kid to get COVID, which is terrifying, right? Or for anyone in the family to bring it home. So it was a very hard time. But when did it start for you, that feeling?
I think just the fact that I didn't know anyone, and then you would go on internet and like check the groups. And like, you know, everybody has something to say. And you're like, oh my God, there's something wrong with the baby because he's not doing this or that. So I think that's why I started, because she wouldn't sleep. She just wanted to be on the boob
on the
or
breast
just
all the time. Yeah. What finally resolved it?
I just gave up. I was like, this is how it's gonna be.
She's gonna just be on you.
Yeah.
She just wants that.
Yeah.
And then she grew out of it.
Yeah.
What did the lactation consultant say?
The lactation consultant was great because it was just the way my nipple, like, you know, the way I was holding the baby, she was not able to, I was not feeding her right. And eventually, like, I mean, it took a long time. I feel like I had her for like 6 sessions.
And you got it.
I got it, finally. Then I breastfed till she was 3.5.
Stop. That is amazing.
Yeah.
With such a difficult beginning.
Yeah, it was. Right. I just wish that we could provide this for every single mom, because every single mom deserves this.
Yeah, and the disparity is abominable. The disparity is really abominable. Did you start feeling sad, or you started feeling anxious?
Just all of it. Sad, anxious, not knowing if I'm doing it right, not having anybody to talk to, like I was alone all day long. And then Nick would come home and I was like, sure, he was the only one I had to share, but he doesn't understand what I'm going through.
Yeah. And your mom came for a little bit. I remember she was cooking yummy stuff.
Yes, it was great when she was there, but she had to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's hard, being separated from family.
So finding a community like that where you just talk about this stuff, and then they're like, oh yeah, my baby too. Like, I understand. I'm going through this too. So you don't feel like you're the only one.
You're not alone.
Right. And just bitching about everything.
Yeah.
It feels so good because they're going through the same thing.
Yeah. And so this was 6-7 weeks after you had her?
I think I found this group 3 months postpartum.
3 months postpartum.
And then I just wished I knew about it sooner.
And you were just hooked.
The first class I was like, where do I sign up? Like, I didn't care how much it cost or anything like that.
So did you ever need extra therapy or medication or anything to work with the depression, or did it sort of lift as you started?
That's all I needed.
So everything right, like outside, fresh air, sunlight, and other mommies, you're with your baby, so you're not separated, so you're not paying for childcare while you're exercising, which is lovely.
Yeah.
Right? And community.
Yeah, mom friends.
I love this so much. And I love that it fell into your lap on the day that you were supposed to go back into nursing.
I know, it was meant to be.
And wound care. You're like, no, the universe was like, no, we don't actually want you there. We want you here.
Yeah, and I love it so. it doesn't feel like work. It's so fun. The moms are amazing. I've got to meet so many incredible moms that just right. They're my neighbors, our neighbors. They all live in this area.
So your kids can grow up together too, because they ultimately will maybe go to preschool or homeschool or whatever you all do.
Yeah.
If you like Mama Tusa, check out Actually Useful, a show about why the tech world is broken and what we can do to fix it. Each episode, hosts Ariel and AJ talk to some of the smartest people in tech who are trying to build a better internet. If you're angry at Uber for jacking up prices, can't believe Netflix kicked you off your ex's account, or don't understand why tech CEOs can act like shadow politicians, Actually Useful is the show for you. My favorite is their episode on AI. I learned a lot about the climate cost of ChatGPT and how this AI craze is more of a hype trend than a real advancement in tech. It's a big topic. So I appreciate the team for breaking it down for their listeners. Check it out every other Thursday, wherever you listen. So how much does a class cost?
So the membership is $99 a month, and then everything unlimited. And then we have Mommy and Me Yoga, we have music class, that's all included. And Mom's Night Out, everything else, we have classes every day.
How often are the classes?
Every day.
Once a day, all different things.
Mm-hmm.
Always at the same time?
Stroller classes are in the morning, so 9 a.m., some of them 9:30, the other ones. And then I have mom-only classes at night. So I'm teaching tonight at 8 p.m. at CrossFit Hollywood. That's mom only. So it's a high-intensity workout.
Is it a CrossFit class?
No.
It's just
I just rent.
Mom's class.
So we really focus on pelvic floor, strength, cardio. So it's a mix of that.
I want to take that class. Is it okay if I was a mom 400 years ago? And
of course. You don't have to be a mom for the mom.
You can do a menopause class.
You can be a dog mom or mom.
A menopause mom. Let's do that. So how do you spread yourself between all the locations? I
have a great team. Yeah,
so
I have the best instructors. Yeah. And then they were all part of Fit for Mom, so they really believe in it. And then they became instructors. So they have other jobs that they do. But they just support they love this community so much. They decided to become instructors.
And what is how did Fit for Mom begin?
So the owner, Lisa, she's amazing. The headquarters was in San Diego, and I think she started at 20, maybe be almost at 30 years. And she started it because of her son. She just felt like she didn't want to get a babysitter, or she couldn't go back to work. And then she started working out with her son, and that's how it started.
It's incredible. So you're teaching every day?
I have an instructor who teach every day, and then I teach every Saturday, and the night classes I teach myself for the night classes.
It's amazing. I love when you see a need.
Yeah.
And then it just falls into your lap. It's like the universe just brings everything together. Can you tell me like some cool stories that moms are sharing, or some things that you've seen that you were like, wow, this would not have happened if this person didn't have community?
Yeah, I think the best thing that for me is like seeing moms connecting without like not hanging out, but you know what I mean? Like we do a lot of events and stuff, but finding out they're hanging out without
Separately.
me being there, you know, like we have moms who have been like, they become best friends, and they go, you know, they're just, their family are hanging out together.
I love
Or they
it.
go to trip together, and that makes me so happy.
That is amazing. Are you seeing any like difficult stories or sad things that are happening that the community is coming together for?
Yeah, that's, so we have this WhatsApp group. So if you remember, you become part of the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And that WhatsApp group has been like life-saving for so many people. I mean, they say it, like if they have a question, they put it there. If they need support. So we had someone, their car broke down, and then they put it in a chat, and we had like 5 moms who went for a rescue. If they needed someone to watch the baby for like a couple of hours, they're there. So it's great.
You have built a village.
It's amazing. Yeah.
You've built villages all over the city.
Yeah, it's really...
I'm so happy. I'm literally like the community part of this is so, so, so powerful.
It is, yeah.
So tell us where they sign up.
So we can put it in a show note. You can find us at Fit for Mom Los Angeles for this area, and then Fit for Mom San Fernando Valley and Northeast LA. The first class is always free, and then you can come and see if you're a right fit.
It's incredible. I was teaching childbirth classes for a long time in Santa Monica, and I taught something called the Bradley Method. And the Bradley Method is 12 weeks. It's 12 weeks of childbirth classes. So people come every week, once a week. I taught from, I think, 6:30 to 9:30 every Monday night. And I taught for years and years and years. I loved it. And one time I went to a coffee shop, and I think it was like a holiday Monday, like one of those like MLK or something like that. And I walked into the coffee shop, and this mom goes, "Oh my God, Atusa?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And she looked very familiar. And I remembered she was in my class, and she was like, "Do you want to see everybody?" And I was like, "What do you mean everybody?"
Oh my God.
She's like, "Come." It had been like 8 years.
Oh my goodness.
They were all at the coffee shop together. And there was like, and the class was maybe 10 couples. I think there was probably 8 or 9 couples with kids at the table. They had been raising their kids together because they were all like West Side Santa Monica families. Yeah. Similar mindset. If you're in that kind of childbirth class, it's a similar kind of mindset. Same way as people who probably come into fitness want to get healthier. And, you know, there's that part of it. But it was such like an amazing moment where I was like, these people like built community in my class.
Right.
It's so powerful. And another time I was at a party, and I was talking to someone, and I literally saw someone like her back was to me, and she turned around and she goes, "Atusa?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "I just remember your voice from the relaxation practice that we did in your Bradley class." And she's like, all of a sudden my body just relaxed, and I was like, "What's happening? I know this voice. This feeling is coming back to me." And it had been years since she had like had her baby. So like the imprint we leave is really powerful. I adore what you are doing. I love what you are doing. What do you wish you had known as a new mama?
I stress a lot about the sleep part and then the nap part. And I feel like now looking back, I'm like, I don't know why I was stressing.
Well, there's so much information, right?
I think that's the problem, because I don't remember doing this with my son, but then there was there was no access to internet.
Right. Make you crazy, to make you feel like everyone's doing it right. There's always that, I had that feeling as a new mom where I was like, how come everybody else got the manual, but I didn't get the manual? Like nobody sent me the manual, and you guys seem to do it right, and I'm not doing it right. And I felt like a big piece of information had been kept from me. Turns out they were struggling, thinking someone didn't give them the manual.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So then you come into these classes and you're like, like, my vagina hurts. Does your vagina hurt? Yeah, mine kind of hurt too. And did you try this? Did you try that? My boob was hurting, and my partner was making me crazy, and then my baby won't sleep, and all of a sudden
it's the best thing.
You feel
it's
better.
Like therapy. It really is therapy.
Better.
Yeah.
You feel better, and $99 a month is like not even one therapy session.
And also like we emphasize so much on pelvic floor, Because I feel like if you could just go to a regular, let's like CrossFit, people like, I don't think personal trainer really learn about female body after the birth.
Yeah. So tell me more. What are some of the exercises
I
you do?
really just emphasizing how to correctly activate your core when you're working out, your breathing, just starting from breathing after birth. I don't think we talk enough about that.
I don't.
Because we just want to go back to working out and like, your body might not be ready. I mean, peeing is not normal. So that means there's something you need to work on your pelvic floor after birth.
And so many times people get lost in that misinformation because you whether you have an abdominal birth or a vaginal birth, this child comes out of your body and then you have body changes. And it can be anything from, I had a client who had a very severe wound infection. And she was like, it kind of felt funny and it smelled funny. And I thought, well, that's just what happens when you have a C-section. Yeah. And she came to see us and I was like, babe, like you have a wound infection. Like we need to like take you to the hospital and have that like cleaned out and irrigated and antibiotics. Right. I mean, you're a wound care specialist, so you know what that looks like. But so many times you're like, well, yeah, and then I had my baby and then I could like never ever hold my pee in anymore. And I always peed when I sneezed. And I just thought that's what happens when you have a baby. Intimacy was never the same. Like I never enjoyed intimacy again. And I thought, oh, well, I've had a baby. It's normal. It's not normal. Right. And tell someone, whether it's your midwife or your doula or your obstetrician or your fitness instructor.
Yeah.
You are very highly trained. And do you also go over like danger signs for the moms to look for when they're working out or things that are not normal?
Of course, yeah. I mean, we talk about all of that. And one of the best things is like, again, that WhatsApp group, because moms feel so comfortable just asking safe. All the questions and there's no judgment. I'm not sure if any other group is like, but we just got so lucky to have this group of moms. Like truly everybody just, I don't know, they're just so
connected.
Yes.
They're just so connected. So once the babies aren't in strollers anymore, up to what age can you bring your baby to a workout?
So we have moms who still come, like they've been with us for like 5-6 years. And the kid obviously are older. So if they're not in a stroller anymore, as long as they come to class, they can sit by the stroller. As long as they're not running around, because that's kind of dangerous. But also a lot of moms like to drop off their kids at school and then come to class because they get a better workout. For sure,
and it's that 9:30 time where everyone has already dropped off. And you're just giving them a band for the stroller classes?
So the stroller classes but it is a workout because we do a lot of cardio. For sure.
It's so funny because recently we took a trip and the person I work out with was like, take a band. And I was like, what's a band going to do? She's like, just put your band in your suitcase and go for walks and use the band. And she's like, it's a workout. And the first few days I used the band and I was like, I am so sore. Right. It is a complete workout.
Yeah, because we have family classes every Sunday. So the mom can bring the partner or husband or mom, or they can come to class. And the husbands always are like, oh my God,
this is hard.
A workout. Yeah,
this is intense.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't schlep all that equipment to the park and a band is light and easy. Yes. You just put in the back of the stroller and you're there. And it's such a testament to, it also doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to cost millions of dollars. You don't need to pay $300 an hour for a trainer. No. And you don't need to buy all this equipment that's going to get you in shape.
This is all in one. Workout, community, fresh air. I don't know, like coffee chats.
It works. It really works. For the prenatal classes, do you have people like monitor their heart rate and stuff? Like, what is your parameter?
We have some pregnant moms who've been working out with us and now they're having the second kid.
Wow.
And obviously the cardio, we talked about them that they need to be careful with the heart rate. They have, they shouldn't be running out of breath.
Correct. Not getting short of breath, yeah.
But we just had the mom who had the baby and she's like, she has the strongest pelvic floor because it's amazing because she's been working out with us throughout. When she got pregnant, she just had the baby and now she's back.
It's being talked about more now, but definitely not enough. I am so, honestly, viewers can see me, but listeners cannot. I've been smiling so much that like my jaw hurts. It's like everything the Mama Tusa podcast is about is this.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's community. It's mothers helping each other. It's support. It's education. Yeah. It's finding a need and filling it. And I'm just so lucky to have you on, and the world is lucky to have you,
Oh, thank you so much. And it's so funny to just the circle, coming back together like this.
The circle. It's so powerful. I'm so honored that our paths crossed.
Yeah, thank you
to that birth center.
Yeah, seriously.
Where we met. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor.
Mama Tusa is hosted by me, Atusa Benji, and produced and edited by Josh Stretton Carlson. Our theme music is composed by Mehri Lalazarian. If you'd like to support the show, please follow and review us on Spotify and Apple, or subscribe and like us on YouTube. This show is for informational purposes only and is not intended to be medical advice. Always consult with your healthcare provider when making medical decisions. See you next Tuesday.